picture, just get the visual of, let's just say in the times of when they were at war in David's time in the Bible, and how when they would see things afar off, what they were doing during the day, but also what they were doing at night. Because to be on post at night, but to be standing by day is two different positions.
Yes.
It's two different positions, but it really involves the same type of assignment. You want to add anything, Apostle?
So I thought about Nehemiah,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the scripture is Nehemiah 4 or the chapter 4, where it talks about, this is what it said. I'm going to read it. It says, now it happened when Sanballat, Tobiah, the Arabs, and the Ammonites, and the Ashdodites heard that the walls of Jerusalem were being restored and the gaps were beginning to be closed, that they became very angry. And all of them conspired together to come and attack Jerusalem and create confusion. Nevertheless, we made our prayers to our God, and because of them, we set a watch against them day and night. And so I began to think about the fact that watchmen need to discern where are the gaps. They need to identify the gaps, and they need to expose the places where there are gaps, and they need to be able to close those openings so that the enemy can't get in.
That's right.
And so I realized that we're in an era where there are many gaps based on what is happening in society, based on what is happening in the world system. And because we're not discerning where the gaps are, the gaps keep getting bigger. And so God has really called us to understand that because we are called to be those who close gaps, that the enemy is very angry. But because of the fact that we have made our prayers to God and we have set a watch against the enemy day and night, we're able now to come in and cause things that are opened by the enemy to be closed, not just closed, but we're able now to take what basically the enemy meant to do and to cause that thing to be reversed. And so I thought about that. I read that and I was like, well, I read that before, but I really didn't see it in terms of the watchman. It says we've set a watch against the enemy day and night. As you said, it's day and it's night. And even though it might be a different time period, right, it's basically the assignment that God has given us is that we have to be aware of what's going on in terms of the day. But you know what I heard? That basically that God has called us to basically redeem the nighttime again, because you know what happened? The enemy has come in and the enemy has taken ownership of the night. But God has given us the night, and we need to understand that he has caused us to redeem the nighttime, because that is also the time when he has called us to do much warfare in the nighttime. So those are just some things that I wanted to share, the gaps in the walls and how we need to identify those gaps and then expose them and then close them so that the enemy will not come in.
Yes, that's so good. Yeah. I mean, the gaps are, and let's just bring that now to this term of Babylon, because Babylon in modern day really describes the very culture that we live in.
Yes.
And Babylon was very, very powerful. Babylon was no joke. However, what Isaiah was saying in this scripture is that Babylon is fallen. And I believe that we are in a time and in an era where even though the intensity is going to increase, the ultimate thing is that Babylon will fall, because we serve a God who is, first of all, let me just put it in my terms, he's not playing. We serve a God that is powerful and that is very much in control in the things that we may think that God has not paid attention to. Oh, he's very much awake and he has not left his throne. So just be reminded that God has not left his throne.